Yo, what's up, gamers? So, I walked into the breakroom today and everything is blinking green again. The TV says Q updated, the laptop has 5 download tabs open, the microwave has a tiny Spartan helmet sticker on it, and Gary from IT is standing there holding a controller like he just got drafted into the UNSC. So I'm like, Gary, did the breakroom break again? And he goes, the Halo Q is evolving. And of course it is, because Xbox Game Pass is another late July wave, and this one has a clear headline, Halo Campaign Evolved. But we also have survival crafting, co-op horror, dark action, pirates, classic shooters, and Beast of Reincarnation from Game Freak. So Xbox looked at the end of July and said, what if your backlog had Spartans, terraforming, co-op horror, pirates, dark fantasy, and a dog from Game Freak? So before Gary tries to install Master Chief on the microwave, please do me a favor, smash that like button if Game Pass keeps attacking your backlog, subscribe if you want the subscription chaos cleaned up, and tell me in the comments down below, what are you downloading first? Now let's grab a mop, because Gary is trying to evolve the microwave campaign, and I do not think that appliance supports 4-player co-op. Available now on cloud, Xbox Series X and S, handheld, and PC. Buckshot Roulette is a tabletop horror game built around risks. It takes Russian roulette, adds a 12-gauge shotgun, loads live and blank shells in a hidden order, and turns every choice into a terrible math problem. 4 players enter, and 1 leaves. This is short, tense, weird, and absolutely not approved for breakroom game night. This is the game where game night gets legally terrifying. Available now on cloud, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Denshattack is a fast-paced action game about flipping, grinding, and tricking your train through a colorful Japanese dystopia. You're taking back the tracks, fighting rival gangs, wrecking a shady megacorp, and somehow making public transportation look cooler than half the vehicles in gaming. This is speed, style, and rail chaos. This is a game where the train is on time, but only because it just did a kickflip through traffic. Available now on cloud, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. The Planet Crafter is a chill survival terraforming game. You get sent to a hostile planet with one job, make it livable for humans. So you survive, collect resources, build a base, make machines, heat the planet, create oxygen, and slowly turn a dead world into a home. You can play solo or bring friends in online co-op. This is the game where the whole planet is your project, which is exactly the kind of responsibility I avoid at work. Available now on cloud, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Shift at Midnight is a day 1 Game Pass co-op detective horror game. You and 2 other players work randomly generated shifts, investigating customers who might not be what they seem. Make a mistake, and suddenly you're boarding up windows, setting traps, and hiding like the employee handbook has fully given up. This is customer service with paranormal consequences. This is the game where the night shit finally explains why nobody answers HR emails after 9. Available now on cloud, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Hell Is Us is dark exploration action set in Hadia, a nation wrecked by civil war and a supernatural calamity. You follow your instincts, fight with brutal melee combat, uncover a mystery, and explore without the game dragging you around by a quest marker. So if you like games that say figure it out while handing you a blade, this one is for you. This is the game where the map does not hold your hand because apparently even the GPS quit. Dropping July 28th on cloud, console, handheld, and PC. Halo Campaign Evolved is the big headliner. This is the modernized remake of Halo Combat Evolved's campaign, rebuilt with HD visuals, refined controls, up to 4-player online co-op, 3 new missions, and an expanded arsenal of weapons, vehicles, and enemies. So yes, Xbox is bringing the ring back, but with extra toys and more problems. This is Xbox saying, remember the ring? Good, we rebuilt it. Available July 29th as a PC Game Pass benefit, Zenless Zone Zero is not a new Game Pass game, but it is getting a full useful bonus. For the 2nd anniversaries, players can select an S-rank agent, which is the kind of phrase that makes gacha players suddenly sit upright. So if you're already playing Zenless Zone Zero, this is worth checking before you forget it exists. This is not a new download, but free S-rank energy still wakes up the backlog goblins. Dropping July 30th on cloud, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Mistfall Hunter is a day 1 dark fantasy extraction ARPG. You pick a class, build around skills, talents, and gear, then head into danger zones solo or with a team. The goal is simple: fight your way in, grab the loot, and survive long enough to bring it back. So it is fantasy combat with extraction pressure. This is the game where looting is easy until the exit starts changing emotional damage. Dropping July 31st on PC, Corsair Cove is a pirate city builder. You build a pirate haven, raise a fleet, explore the high seas, and take on the crown to keep the age of piracy alive. But it is not just ships and treasure, you also manage production chains, resources, and a rowdy crew that probably thinks budget meeting means stealing the budget. This is the game where city planning meets piracy, which sounds exactly like something Gary would put on a budget request. Dropping August 4th on cloud, console, handheld, and PC. Heretic plus Hexen is an enhanced re-release of two classic dark fantasy shooters. These are older spellcasting FPS games brought forward with modern accessibility, more platform support, and a cleaner way for new players to experience that chunk of shooter history. If you want retro action, but with magic, monsters, and wizard robes instead of regular bullets, this is a classic pick. This is the game where old school shooters put on a wizard robe and started throwing problems. Dropping August 4th on cloud, Xbox Series X and S, handheld, and PC. Beast of Reincarnation is the big curiosity pick. This is a brand new Game Freak action RPG set in a beautiful but harsh post-apocalyptic Japan. You follow Emma and Ku in what Xbox calls a one-person, one-dog action RPG with a fusion of real-time and turn-based combat. So yes, Game Freak still brought a companion, but the world got much more ruined. This is the game where Game Freak said, what if the creature companion stayed, but everything else needed a mop? So that's the latest Xbox Game Pass wave. Some of these games are already available, some are still dropping over the next few days, and Xbox clearly wanted to end July with a packed queue. You've got survival crafting, co-op horror, dark action, pirate management, classic shooters, and a brand new Game Freak RPG. But let's be real, Halo Campaign Evolved is the big headline here. That is the one most people are going to notice first. Beast of Reincarnation is probably the biggest curiosity pick, mostly because Game Freak making a post-apocalyptic one-person, one-dog action RPG is not something you just ignore. So now we're back in the break room, and Gary's still standing by the microwave, the Spartan helmet sticker is crooked, the controller is plugged into absolutely nothing, and the microwave screen says Campaign Evolving. So I'm like, Gary, why does the microwave say it supports 4-player co-op now? And he goes, because it's legacy hardware optimization. And that's when I realized Game Pass did not just add more games, it gave Gary another reason to make kitchen appliances part of the UNSC. Well, that's all I got. I gotta bounce before Gary remakes Halo on the toaster, turns the fridge into a dropship, and tells the coffee machine it is now a cannon. But before I go, do me a favor, smash that like button if Game Pass made your backlog worse, subscribe if you want the subscription chaos cleaned up, and tell me in the comments down below, what are you downloading first? This is Scruffy the Janitor signing off. Peace out.